The majority of Mint tiny houses are equipped with two electrical panels. The main panel is this white panel located on the interior wall of the tiny house. This is your AC panel, where the main power from your site comes directly into the tiny house. The other panel is your DC panel. The location of this panel will vary depending on the model of your tiny house. Depending on how many 12-volt items that are in your house, we will either install a small 25-amp panel or a large 50-amp panel. The 12-volt panel is required because there are a few items in every tiny house which require 12-volt power. These items are the carbon monoxide detector, the propane detector, the oven. Even though this is a propane oven, it needs 12-volt power for items like the ignition, display, and light. The Truma propane on-demand water heater. This also is a propane appliance, but it needs 12-volt power for the control panel and ignition. If you selected 12-volt lighting, a propane furnace, a 12-volt fridge, or any other 12-volt option, they will all be powered by this panel. Most Mint tiny houses are equipped with at least one 12-volt battery, which serves as the backup power for these items if you lose your main power. This gives you the ability to keep using items like your oven, Truma water heater, or propane forced air furnace for a short period of time without a main power source. The batteries are located inside sealed battery boxes which are vented through the wall and the floor and are typically located inside your staircase. When you first receive your tiny house and have it connected to a main power source, you need to make sure to turn on the red master switch for this panel and make sure the breaker feeding the panel is in the on position. If you do not turn this master switch on, your 12-volt items will still work as long as your main power is connected. However, you will not be charging the battery, so you may not have the battery power when you need it. If you are storing your tiny house and it is not in use and is not connected to a main power source, you will want to turn this off. Otherwise, the detectors will drain the battery, resulting in the low power alarms going off. If you are doing this, don't forget to drain your Truma water heater if you have one. If for some reason any of these items were to stop working, there are a number of things that you need to check. First, go to the panel and make sure that both the master switch and the power feeding the panel are turned on. Then go to the main panel and make sure the breaker feeding this panel is also on. Next, check your 12-volt fuses. If you see a red light beside any of these fuses, this means it is blown and needs to be replaced. It is important to note, the light will only show if the appliance in question is turned to the on position. If not, it will not sense the demand and therefore the light will not illuminate. In the case of a blown fuse, simply use a needle nose pliers to remove the blown fuse. Check the amperage of the fuse, which is written on both the panel and also on the fuse itself, and replace it with a new one. Now close the panel door and you are all set. We recommend that you keep a packet of these fuses in your tiny house. To purchase this fuse kit, click the link in the description below. And that's it. Now you know how the 12-volt system works and how to troubleshoot if something stops working. Dreaming of owning your own tiny house? Visit our website to see our available tiny houses or to book a free consultation call where we can answer all your questions. For more Mint Tiny House content, subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to never miss out on what we have in store.